Should I wait to break up with him? This is a tricky one, or maybe just for me. I, 23F, have been dating 21M, Trevor, for 11 months now. We work for the same company, that's how we met each other. We started off as friends until he asked me out one day, which I was very excited for. We were also honest with each other from the jump. I told him I've never had a boyfriend before and that I don't know how to be a girlfriend. He came with his own issues as well. His last girlfriend cheating on him, so he had trust issues he working through. We started a routine since we didn't live in the same town, seeing each other 2 to 3 days outside of work, which worked for us. One day we're hanging out with my friends and he randomly says, "I love you," which I didn't say back and kind of made the atmosphere awkward. We went back to my place and he calls me out on it, which I told him I won't say it to him until I actually mean it, and I told him not to say it ever until he actually means it also. Around 8 months, we had a talk after work in the parking lot where he told me that he loves having me around and the relationship that we've built, but he's not in love with me and that he doesn't ever see himself falling in love with me. That was a lot to take in and it had me thinking for the rest of the night. Should I break up with him? Why am I waste my time? Do I love him? Which is when I secondly questioned breaking up with him. First was around election time and we had different stances. Anyways, I was ready to do it, but then Valentine's came and he surprised me with a homemade dinner and movie, which had me confused. Because why did he put effort in if he literally just told me that he wasn't in love with me? The reason I haven't broke up with him yet is, he said he's going to quit the job we work at and move to Texas sometime in the next 2 months, which we talked about and said it's best for him. I said it's best for him because I was planning on breaking up with him and it's the easy way out. Everyone at my job is in each other's business and I don't want to have to explain myself to everyone why we aren't together anymore. I'm very friendly and talk with everyone, so I don't want to get all sappy with them, which is why I'm waiting it out and I don't want to be the talk of what's going on in everybody's lives. Also, I work with his dad. Even if he leaves, I'm still stuck with his dad. So should wait it out or just do it and move on with my life.
Caravan stories got me through high school, 21M. I hope to tell my girlfriend all about it one day. Since a very early age I've learned the hard way that complaining about things you know for a fact cannot be changed with your resources doesn't do yourself much good. But I also knew that mentality wasn't exactly stopping the minor pangs of negative emotion I chose to keep bottled up, since it was safer than lashing out. The big kid, gotta be careful around the little kids and all that. Long story short, later in my school years I became a very reserved, very anxious, very fake smile on my lowered face kind of teenager, with frustration being my default emotion. Lots of detention, lots of calls home, few drops of family drama, and needless to say, not a lot of recess time to mingle and acclimate to people my age who were my own sex, let alone those of the opposite. From the first week of Caravan Stories' PS4 release, I was on it. The beautiful Japanese aesthetic and design, alongside a genuinely native dialogue with a convenient English text for overseas. The music was pristine. The characters had the depth of an underwater volcano. I genuinely felt like I was whisked away by a giant metal beetle to a land of orcs, bunny folk, and holiday-themed demons. I fell in love. When I opened the application, all my school and family troubles landed on a pillow for a few hours, and I could finally feel what it's like to be someone different. Orc was my first race cycle. Someone who braved the world with a smile on my face instead of a lonely snarl, and a friendly invite to those around me to join my holy adventure. I think my favorite events were, from what I remember, Fire Force collab, still have the hamster, but I didn't get the outfit I wanted in time, Crying Face, New Year's, Non-Chinese, Rainy Season, Halloween, my favorite holiday and best theme remix, and the second anniversary of Caravan Stories. The cake was beautiful, and the stories, oh gods, the stories. From helping a schizophrenic orc coward with an inner bloodlust bomb control his demons, to helping an apprentice elven winemaker protect his grapevines from insects and discover the key to master winery, to helping a witch and her zombie daughter deal with the living and ghostly remnants of both their half-remembered pasts on a fateful Halloween night in Nero. I know this kinda sappy, overly dramatic post might be a bit strange here, I'm sorry, but I just want to say it now, before the year turns over and I begin waiting for the end. I want to say this now. One day, when I figure my messed up existing a bit better, when I improve my looks a bit and try to figure out what girls my age like, again, I hope that I can somehow tell my future GF, even if she couldn't give two flying fucks about video games in general, at least a hint of the magical spontaneous laughs, tears, and work-refilled adventures I had as Liar helped a socially desperate teen into a socially desperate adult. I'm just a bit sad and nostalgic, as well as a bit regretful, but at least it won't be abused anymore by the paid PGEMS BS anymore. Doesn't make me feel less sad. TLDR. I've been in love with this game since a week after PS4 release, and even thought back then I was kinda hoping to play this with her someday. Hopefully my warm memories and what scraps of leftover information I can discover will be enough to give my future girlfriend something close to the warm nostalgia dreams I get sometimes on very lucky nights. My only real regret is that there's no way I'll be able to grind fast enough to beat the game. The difficulty spike is unfathomable mid-game, and this was clearly meant to stall for whale money. Nothing's perfect, I suppose. Thanks, liar. What you lacked in player count you made up for in A-tier interspecies waifus. Meru best orc girl. Edit he. Wonder who she'd pick as best husbando. If I were her I'd go with that orc prince. I forgot the name of. Adored him in his side story with his father and that plague doctor traitor. Female me would totally drool over him lol.